Welcome back, everybody. We're going to be talking about the Beyond the Flames vision card that's coming out. This is a very interesting vision card indeed, because it is specific to main jobs that certain units have and not the element that they are. So the way that these new VCs work, the unit effects are for anybody. So that helps out a little bit in spreading out your party and figuring out, who can take advantage of this. But the party effects are very, very specific to the main weapon that you equip. So in the case of the Beyond the Flame VC, gun units, fist units, and certain staff units will be able to use this, and we're going to go over exactly which units can use it. But first, let's evaluate the card as a whole in terms of its effects and its stats, and then we'll see who can actually take advantage of this. All right, so I actually said I was going to film this video tomorrow, but I decided that if I filmed it today, then I can just relax tomorrow. I can take that out of my head that I'm going to be making content, and that actually helps me relax a little bit more. And then I can go play some New World or some, Triangle Strategy, which are some of the games I'm trying to play right now when I'm able to find free time. So, okay, this is Beyond the Flames. It is a vision card that has some pretty interesting stats, but nothing so crazy that I think people should be pulling for it. So let's break it down. The first thing that you should note is that it's an attack-specific VC for the user, and it has 3 defense on it as well. And then you can see with the unit effect that you get attack percentage and also some HP up. This is a really solid unit effect, so we definitely love to see that. As well, there is actually a global upgrade. Let me bring it over here onto the screen. So this is our upgrade. It's for Urel, Frederica, and Engelbert only. And Urel is our new unit that will be on this as well. And Frederica, they both take advantage of the party effect. Engelbert does not take advantage of the party effect. So this is missile attack resistance up and man-eater up. So this is a really good effect for both Urel and for Frederica. Specifically for Urel, this is actually key because she's already getting a missile attack resistance up from the card itself. So when we look down here, 20%, she already has 30% missile resistance. Let's say this bestowed effect, this global exclusive, gives her 10%. I mean, we're already, for her, she's already at 60% missile resistance with no extra equipment. You could probably go for a near 100% build. I know there's penetration now, but every bit counts. If you have 100% missile resistance and someone penetrates 40%, you still have 60%. So it's a big deal. Anyway, so that's a pretty good global upgrade specifically for Urel, and it's definitely interesting for Frederica. But Engelbert, I'm not as into it, although there's some applications for that. Okay, then the party effect, it is specific to certain jobs, and we're going to talk about which ones those are, but you get some human killer up, you get critical evasion, which is a nice little bonus there, and then, like I said, the 20% missile resistance. So 30% human killer is a pretty big amount. And so this is definitely a big offensive upgrade, and the fact that you also get a top tier resistance paired with it, it means that this card is really good, right? So if you're running a team that has these units in it, then you're in a really interesting spot, because now all of a sudden you have a leg up on everybody else, because their cards typically pick one lane and stick to it, and this card can do 2 things. It gives you defense and it gives you offense, and that's really good. The downside to it is how specific it is to these weapon types, and you're going to have a harder time fitting it into teams right now until we get more support. So how you decide to pull for a card like this is really based on what jobs it entails, and if you have those units and like those units. So let's check that out next. All right, so let's talk about the specific units that are going to use this card, and I'm going to put them up on screen so that you can see them. But first up, we have our gunners. And by the way, if I miss any units on this, I'm sorry. I checked it over 3 times. This should be the correct pool of units. If I miss something, somebody please comment down below, and then if you're wondering, you can go check the comments and see if anybody brought anything up. But basically, we're looking at the gunner units. We've got Alaya Rundell as one of our most relevant ones because she is a gunner and she is physical. Another big unit would be Jayden, except he doesn't really take advantage of the physical man killer, so it's more the defensive side here. The other unit that I might look at here is Frederica, but I don't think you're going to be pulling this VC for her, and Lightning already has a lot of good VC support. So really for Gunners right now, at least, this looks like it would be a good VC for Elia if you were building a very specific composition with her and other units that can take advantage of this VC. Now, another unit to consider is there's a Warrior of the Crystal, which is a gunner and an earth unit in JP. So that actually has some applications as in the future of us using Urel and the new earth gunner together as a composition, but that's super far down the road. That's going to be very specific earth players that will consider that. Next up, we have the Pugilist, the monks, the other strike jobs, and some of the most important ones I can point out here are Snow would be a big one, although again, does he really need all the man killer and the missile resistance? I don't know. He's getting a lot of good stuff from his ice VCs already. If you're going to run him in a very specific team, like maybe you want to mix things up and you want to have Snow and you want to have Elia and Urel or whatever it is, like you're trying to make like rainbow compositions, maybe you're going to be using this. But otherwise, I can't really see a reason to put this on too many units aside from Raldor. And the reason I'm saying Raldor is because he already has so much missile resist, you could really push him over the edge so that he has a super high amount of missile resist. And then Venera is interesting because she has negative 15 missile resistance, so it kind of corrects for one of her weaknesses. But Venera is not really in a position where, you know, I think this is going to fix her, so not a big deal to pull it for her. And then we have this subsection of the staff jobs, and you can see there's a whole lot of units here. Now, the thing is that these are all magic units, so you're really only getting the defensive capabilities out of this VC, so I really don't think that you would pull this for any of these units. But again, if you're trying to put a picture together of what your rainbow team might look like, well, maybe it's a team that has Aerith as a healer, and this gives her some missile resist to not die, or it has Ayaka, or, you know, maybe you're running some sort of hybrid dark team, and Dark Fina is going to take advantage of part of this VC, and La Mega, the Dark Strike unit's going to utilize it. I don't know. This VC is not jumping out to me as one of the easiest for rainbow teams. However, future VCs are looking real good, and this VC on paper, objectively, is a really strong set of stats on a card. All right, so to cap it off, should you be pulling for this card? I don't think that you should, unless you're going to be pulling for Urel, and then I think that it's worth pulling for this card because of the global buff and the fact that if you're going to commit to pulling for Urel, then you might as well commit to just making her as strong as possible and really building her up, and this card is going to help you do that and help you use her in the future with other units in some sort of composition. So in that case, you would just go all in. Maybe you're going to plan on getting that Earth Warrior of the Crystal Gunner at some point, but if you're not that dedicated Earth main, then I don't think that this is the time to pull for this VC. I think you try to get it down the road because it's not a bad VC, but it's just not so good that we really need to be pulling for it right now, especially with possibly a surprise coming soon. I don't know for sure, but I kind of have like that gut feeling that we're going to get something. So hold your viz, save for now, and hope you get this on an off banner because these VCs are very cool. All right, so that's going to be it from me. Thank you so much for coming and watching my video, and I'll see you all in a few days' time. On Wednesday or Thursday, I'm going to try to film some more videos, and otherwise, like I said, I'm going to be taking tomorrow off, and I'm maybe playing some video games and hopefully not working. I got a coach tomorrow. I'm going to try to do no work tomorrow night, and if you want to know how that's all going, though, you can hit me up on Discord and be like, "Hey, Mysidia, did you get to play some games?" "No, not yet." "Okay, I command you to go play games. You have the night off. Go do it. Tell me to do it. Otherwise, I'll see you all in the next one. Thanks so much. Bye.